So what I'm going to do is now switch from video mode to a PowerPoint mode, just to show the document, show the agenda. So we'll talk briefly, what we're doing here, a little bit about the independent content exchange. I'm hoping this will be something that we can do regularly as part of the Viodi TV experience, if you will, the Club Viodi experience, where the 130 people that have gone through the local content workshops, it'd be a chance to kind of get together on a more regular basis and discuss the issues surrounding local content. And of course, each of you as service providers, I'm really curious whether this kind of technology would be interesting to your communities as another way of kind of doing outreach and connecting your businesses and so forth. So Hannah, just to kind of brief you a little bit, Viodi has, our focus is on independent telcos and their efforts to distribute video, to create video. And what we see long term are people like Tracy. She's doing some really neat things in terms of creating local content. She did a video that was distributed to some other telcos as well, but is on a tree planting ceremony. It was for the soldiers killed in the line of duty, and it was very moving. And there's a lot of that content that's out there that's in these rural areas that can be exchanged with each other, but beyond that. And so that's what we're trying to do long term is create this network of independent producers, where content can be created, and it might be coming from Washington, might be coming from Georgia, but it's content that has kind of universal appeal, so it can be shared. And it literally is it's a little bit different model. Instead of going to necessarily a Disney or that sort of thing, it's kind of a distributed peer-to-peer content creation model. So that's kind of sets this up for ours. What we want to talk about now is an idea I had yesterday, which was...
Looks like Roger's raising his hand.
Yeah, that's a good test, isn't it, Roger? Okay, so now I'm going to go to this. So there's the actual URL, so you can click on that if you want to go to it yourself. This, just as a bit of background, about 5 or 6 months ago, we started this survey of rural youth, who live and work and go to school in communities where Tracy and the other 1,000 independent telcos are. And part of the reason for doing that is we had this panel, which I'll actually click on the link here. This panel was at the El Paso 44th Annual Summer Convention held a couple of weeks ago. It's a pretty cool feature, Tracy. You can actually see the video playing during the, within the window. Now, one thing, Hannah, we can't hear the audio, though, right? Is that correct?
You can't unless it's being picked up through your mic. But
okay.
As one caveat, we are integrating in that functionality in the next 6 months. You'll be able to see what we call screening rooms. So it's pre-recorded video you would upload to the HearMe room and then can be played.
Okay, well, for the purposes of this, we don't need to watch the video. You can do that if you want to. It's actually, I want to go through a couple other things. On this particular website, there's an executive summary for the report we wrote, which just has 8 or so bullets on what we found in the study. And then there's an actual PDF report that you can review. Now, what we're still working out, and that's the reason this is password protected right now, is I'm working with Fred, which is the Foundation for Rural Education and Development. It's a charitable foundation to help rural America that's set up by El Paso. And we're trying to figure out the exact specifics of this, of how the program will work. But what I'm proposing is make this available and then allow it to be a donate and let people or organizations decide how much they want to contribute. And this is the other thing too, is I'm pushing to have half the money go to Fred and then half the money go to Tony Atwater, who's really what I term the father of IPTV. He unfortunately passed away about a week and a half ago. and left behind a 4-month-old son and a 20-year-old daughter, and the memorial could really help them. Now back to kind of the topic at hand here. This video, like I said, it's about 53 minutes long. It was shot kind of impromptu. Roger, literally just put the camera up at the last minute. Our audio feed, unfortunately, we didn't get off the mixer board, so it had some, left some stuff to be desired. But the content is very good. It's a focus group. In fact, I'll kind of fast forward here a little bit. You can see it's a focus group of kids aged, I guess, 13 to 20. And they actually have some really insightful, oh, and mixer board had issues also. Yeah, so that's true. Roger points out that it wasn't just us. We actually had problems in the room itself in terms of the audio. But this panel, I think, is pretty universal in terms of the appeal that it would have, beyond telephone companies. We're talking about asking them about how they use media and technology. And so, we could spend a little bit more work and try to put it into a DVD form, maybe, do as much as we can to clean up the audio, and maybe, some other quality improvements. But one of the things I'm really curious is whether this would be of interest as far as content for an independent telco to use on their system. And if it was, we'd probably go ahead and put the effort and provide this as a to the Club Viodi members to use on their cable systems. Or obviously they could link to it on their websites. And it's all kind of in the vein of this idea of creating a content exchange. It's another way of seeding it, the way you did, Tracy, with your Memorial Day video. So that's pretty much all I had for today.